The Tineco S7 Steam Wet Dry Vac is a futuristic cordless steam vac that works great, but is it better than the Tineco S5 or the S7 Pro? So let's do a deep dive together, let's test it out against each other, and let's see if the sleeker design and the lighter weight works. Because once you pick up the Tineco S7 Steam, the first thing you'll notice is the weight. It weighs just about the same as the Tineco S7 Pro at 9.26 pounds, and it's essentially less than the Tineco S5 Steam. And when you put them in action, you can see that all of them are going to work well for majority of your wet messes as well as dry messes. But which one is better? Let's try it out and test it for ourselves. So on the Tineco S7 Steam, you can see that the front is very different from a regular S7, and that's because it uses the power of steam. So we remove the top cover, you're going to be able to remove the front, and that's going to give you access to all the different seams and all the different seals that you are getting on the Steam edition. But the brush roll is pretty similar. It is going to be, at least to the best of its ability, edge to edge. So they did minimize the amount of brush roll they have on each side. And this is going to be the actual cover. The cover has been changed and updated for the Steam, so it's going to be thicker. Because the cover is releasing and using steam, they have reinforced all of these seams, and they have this bright metal bar that's going to prevent things from getting inside of your tank, things that you don't want. They have the metal bar located inside of the cover instead of on the Tineco base. It used to be on the base, but on the Steam, it's actually on the cover. Tineco does include this caution: hot surface, avoid contact when using. Now they are required to have that, I believe, but if you want to remove it at your own will, because this looks very much like a regular wet dry vacuum. So I like to leave that on, even though it obscures it and doesn't make it as neat or clean, just because I don't want my kids to think this is not going to be hot. So the LED bar here is kind of like Knight Rider. It's going to light up, and it's not just like little pokey lights. It's actually going to be in an entire bar light strip. So in order to remove your brush roll, it's super easy, but you have to take off the front cover. If the front cover is attached, it is not as easy to remove because you just can pop it out. It's using magnets. So magnets here, just pop it out. And here will be the brush roll. The brush roll is very, very light. This is going to be hollow on the inside. So this is going to be your dirty water tank. They have a lot of this shiny premium material around it. I do like the design. It's more than clear. It's kind of opaque in terms of the color of the tank itself. The bin itself is just like a regular S7 bin. No difference here. If you look at the filter is the same as the S7 and the S5. No difference. And this is more of a universal design by Tineco, where you have your filter. The reason why they include this brush inside of the box is so that you can clean that hole. So that's the dirty water tank hole. It gets clogged, most likely it got clogged, and this is the perfect tool to unclog it. Overall, the inside is going to be glossy, as you can see, but the outside is going to be matte. That button right there is to control the Wi-Fi as well as the language. If your Tineco S7 Steam is on the base and you press the self-clean button, it will start cleaning itself. If you're looking at the handle has a steam button as well as a power button. That's going to be different than a conventional Tineco S7. If I want to turn it on, I press the power button. It's going to want to self-propel itself. So as you can see, it's already trying to self-propel itself on my floor. A lot of people ask me, how good of a vacuum are these wet dry vacs? So on the Tineco, it's not a poor vacuum. Like, it will pick up some of the surface debris, but it's not going to get deep in the fibers because it doesn't have a real brush roll. And the light bar is pretty powerful, and because it's broad, you do see a lot more on the floor than you did before. So we're going to see if the Steam can even vacuum. So we're going to try it with some Rice Krispie treats. Not a lot, because it can't absorb as much material as the S7 can. We're going to do a test to see which Tineco produces steam faster, so we're going to turn it on. When you contrast it to the S5 steam, the S5 steam takes about 30 seconds. However, we're going to show you how much steam the S5 steam produces because it's corded, so it has more power, it heats up bigger, and it just makes a ton of steam that's going to outcompete the S7 Pro. It might not be as directional, it might not be as dense, but it's still going to be a lot, and it's going to be very awfully hot. So here is our floor. We're gonna just spill all of the oatmeal as well as the oat milk on the floor. We want it to be extra lumpy, extra clumpy. We're gonna spill it.
Powered off. Place appliance on charging base.
Steam comes out pretty fast, but the mess is still there, and that's because a lot of the oatmeal gets trapped because of how this works now. And because they added the steam, the amount of, or the size of the particles that can go in is going to be smaller. So it's not going to be able to pick up the same quantity of stuff as before.
Steaming mode. Steam preparation for the first auto mode. Steaming mode. Powering on. Auto mode. Powering on. Auto mode.
So it's obvious that for most purposes, the S7 Pro is going to be the most versatile of the two, but the S7 Steam is going to be able to sanitize at the same time. It requires less solution, and even though it's not going to be able to pick up the big messes like oatmeal plates, but for something smaller, it's going to pick up almost everything just like your S7 Pro will. We're just going to pick up some spilled milk, a little bit of particles.
Steaming mode.
So our verdict on the Tineco S7 Steam is that it's a awesome wet dry vac, but it's going to be limited because it can't pick up big messes. So if you're looking for a smart cordless wet dry vacuum that also looks good, well, the Tineco S7 Steam might be the only bet in town at the time of this video. And with that, thanks for watching, everybody. This is David with the French Glow. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. We will get back to you. And please hit that like or subscribe button. It really does help support our channel. And I'll catch you next time. This is David again. Bye, bye, bye.